Hello, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Are you comfortable? How comfortable are you on a scale of 1 to 10? Write this number down before we get started. We'll come back to it later. To understate the obvious, there are quite a few factors that contribute to how comfortable you are at any moment. How do you feel about me talking to you from a screen? Is there anything about my appearance that makes you uncomfortable? What about the blur effect that I'm using or the lighting in the room? Is it bright enough? Is it too bright? Can you hear me okay? Am I too loud? How do you even define comfort? Merriam-Webster, Oxford, and dictionary.com all include this word, but they could just as well have left the page blank. Imagine it's a hot summer night, a really hot summer night, like 100 degrees hot. And you've got the thermostat set to an environmentally friendly temperature, or HAF. You're laying in bed, sweating, and you realize that unless you turn the temperature down, you're totally just going to go bananas. You call out in desperation to Alexa and ask for her to just please turn the temperature down to 75 degrees. She confirms the request, and almost instantly, cool air starts to blow through the room. It feels amazing, better than any air conditioning you've ever felt before. Things are good. All right, everybody clear your mind for a second and think about how comfortable you are right now on a scale of 1 to 10. Everyone have a number in your head? Okay, write this one down below your first number. Recently, I found out that my mom was sick with COVID. It had already progressed to a point where she was having a hard time breathing, and she had to be rushed to the hospital. Within a day, doctors had found a complication which required emergency surgery, and my mom was immediately placed on a ventilator. I was seriously worried that she might not survive. Her experience at the hospital sounded horrific. She woke up after surgery, confused and on a ventilator, not able to speak, and since she had COVID, not allowed to have any visitors either. I can't even imagine what that must have been like. But I do know that my mom was extremely uncomfortable. Now, I'd like you to rate your comfort level one more time. How comfortable are you right now on a scale of 1 to 10? Write this down. My mom is doing okay, by the way. She's still recovering, but she's out of the hospital and feeling quite a bit better. All right, don't forget your numbers. Again, if you need to write them down, please do. We're going to come back to them later. So in the description of this talk, I promised that I would mention why people are buying comfort like there's no tomorrow and why you should be selling it. Well, the reason people are buying comfort is easy. It's the feeling that results from fulfilling some of the most critical human needs. We all want things to be simpler. We all want less stress. We all want privacy. We want to feel safe, and we want to feel more secure. We want the temperature around us to be between about 68 and 75 degrees at all times. People have always bought comfort, and they always will. There's a key problem with this, though. You can't really buy comfort. You can buy things that promise to provide comfort, but you can't buy comfort. Not yet, anyway. Fortunately, we still can help to create a heightened sense of comfort for our customers without selling them a false bill of goods. You want to know how? Do you still remember those numbers? Excellent. I'm going to play you a 1-minute video. So sit back, relax, get comfortable. If you have some popcorn, that's awesome. And enjoy the video. Here we go. I need you to rate your comfort level one more time. How comfortable are you right now on a scale of 1 to 10? Write this down. We'll come back to it later. So, is your heart beating faster than it was before the video? I know mine is. They all made it. Every single one of them. That's amazing, right? Are you ready for the $1 million question? Why did the ducks cross the road? I'm not really sure, but here's what I think. I think that these ducks were on their way to a kid's birthday party. Now, everyone knows that baby ducks can't fly, and the mama duck wasn't about to show up to the party without her crew. So they traveled on foot, and everything was going just fine until they got to the freeway. You know, behind every great team is a great leader. And this here mama duck was exactly that leader. She knew that the only way that they were getting to this kid's party was to cross the road. And that if they didn't make it there alive, well, there'd be no point in going at all. So she did what any great leader would do. She recognized what had to be done to reach the goal. She performed a risk analysis, determined that crossing the road was the most logical action. Remember, this is a duck. And then boldly led her team across the perilous freeway. It wasn't a comfortable decision to cross the road, but it was probably even less comfortable to lead the team across the second, third, and fourth lanes of speeding traffic. You saw it just as plain as I did. Multiple times, they almost got completely destroyed by those trucks. And at any point, the mama duck could have just aborted the mission and flown off to safety. But she maintained integrity, and she kept her ducks in a row. And they all kept going. They kept pushing forward, and they made it. Now, I'm not saying that you should run across a busy freeway to make your customers happier. Please don't do that. You certainly shouldn't encourage your team to do this either. But the next time that you're worried about having to make an extra trip to provide some customer education or tutorials, remember the duck. Okay, let's get back to comfort. How comfortable are you right now? Scale of 1 to 10. At this point, you should have 5 comfort ratings written down in front of you. The point of these comfort ratings isn't really to measure your comfort level. The point of this is just to help show how comfort is insanely complex, because it's both relative and subjective. You've all been watching the same presentation for about the last maybe 12 minutes. You've been listening to the same voice, and the overarching topic hasn't changed. I've shown a few scenarios which were carefully selected to generate different kinds of emotional responses, after which I've asked you to personally label yourselves as comfortable or uncomfortable on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, from one person to the next, these comfort ratings are subjective and they're going to vary widely. This is part of what makes comfort so complex. The fact that each one of us experiences comfort in our own unique way. And this makes it pretty tough to predict what somebody else will find comfortable. When you look at your 5 numbers, the main point that I'd like you to notice is just the fact that they're not all the same. By empathizing with scenarios that you might consider to be comfortable or uncomfortable, your own level of comfort is going to be affected. And this effect can be more clearly seen by looking at the relationship between your numbers. So between your first number and second number, did the rating go up? Did it go down? How much did it go up or down? Same thing between your second and third numbers, and so on. If you like, send me your numbers after this presentation, and I'll send you anonymized data from other attendees, which you can compare with your numbers. You'll find that even the direction of change between your ratings will vary between person to person. This illustrates possibly the most important point of this entire talk. Each person will be affected differently by each scenario. Something that might make one person more comfortable is going to make another person less comfortable, and vice versa. This makes it next to impossible to determine a direct and reliable approach to providing the most comfortable experience for our customers. Perhaps the best direct approach that we have right now is just to listen and provide what our customers ask for. And this is often enough to close a sale, which is important, but it's not the end goal. Although sometimes it might feel like we're in the sales business, we're not. We're in the comfort business. And I know this sounds a little cliche, but think about it. Nearly everything that we do is related to comfort in one way or another. And when we recommend products, comfort is often the top factor involved in our selection. There's a problem though, and it's all about finding a direct and reliable approach to providing the most comfortable experience. This doesn't exist. And so our current solution is typically to either simply pursue the most upfront tangible profit, or to try again to build a one-size-fits-all solution that gives the most comfortable experience to everybody. Now, that's a great dream, and I'm not saying don't try, but it might be worth considering something radically different. Since a reliable direct approach to comfort is so elusive, what about trying something indirect? Can we create a more reliably comfortable experience by providing things that help our customers to expand their own comfort zone? What about providing something that our customer considers to be uncomfortable? That'd be crazy, right? Well, there are actually a lot of people talking about the benefits of making regular departures from comfort. I say a lot because if you Google TED Talk comfort, you'll get a very long list of presentations about how comfort has become a problem. And the solution is to get outside of your comfort zone. Purposefully going outside of your comfort zone is reported to help people achieve an even greater level of comfort and happiness. In other words, it seems that by getting a little less comfortable, we can actually become more comfortable. So let's look at what we can do to incorporate some indirect methods of providing comfort. Well, first, we can set clear service boundaries with our customers. Eliminate the likelihood of real service emergencies by designing systems with fail-safe features, or simply don't offer services that can reasonably create an emergency. Next, ditch the 24-hour emergency service model. If there aren't any emergencies, you don't need to be on call 24/7. This actually enables needy customers and adds stress to your work week, or at least somebody's work week at your company. Empower your customers by including regular tutorials, even if it's just once a year. Go beyond essential operation to provide at least a basic understanding of how the system works. Teach them how to perform certain basic troubleshooting and how to restore critical functions. A prime example of this would be how to read the status lights on the modem, how to reboot their modem, and how to determine whether there's a service outage. For customers who do have a harder time understanding technology in general, just design systems with a simple architecture. This is a really great habit to get into with every system you design. One way to do this would be to use a local single source design for video instead of a distributed video design. And install the same source at every location. In most cases, as long as the internet service can support it, then ditching the cable box or the satellite receiver and using just a single streaming device like Apple TV at each one of the TVs will offer the greatest ease of use and lowest overall cost. For house audio locations, consider a simple, scalable, and modular platform like Sonos. Now, these are just examples, but it's also a well-known fact that Apple TV and Sonos are the two best AV products in production today. Any real video file or audio file will back this up. Just ask any of them. Hey, let's do one more comfort rating. How comfortable are you right now on a scale of 1 to 10? All right, let's move on. Another way to provide indirect comfort is to manage your customer's desire to have everything. They don't need it. More importantly, they won't use it. A recent Nielsen report found that the average TV household watches less than 13 of the 200 channels that they subscribed to. 13. In my own experience, this is also true when it comes to available system features and functions. Nobody uses most of the junk that manufacturers are putting in TVs today. Not to mention all the other different gear that we install. Now, I am a big supporter of customer education, but I'm also a big supporter of hiding functions that a customer just isn't going to use. And hey, I get it, and I understand that Mr. Anderson said that it's imperative that he has access to every available feature and function on every device in the house. There's an exception to every rule. And a place named Best Buy that I love to refer these exceptions to. Another big one is managing customer expectations. Under-promise and over-deliver. The value of this simple phrase can never be overstated. And it's really all about getting comfortable with using one simple word, the word no. It can be surprisingly effective. Just try it. I promise that you'll be happy with the results, especially if the customer is offended by this and leaves you for somebody else. Lastly, don't underestimate the power of a customer who truly understands what, how, and when to reboot. This is not always easy. And in some cases, you may also have to incorporate some of the suggestions above for this to be reasonably possible. But it's worth the effort. If you can provide this understanding of what, how, and when to reboot, you'll prevent a great deal of potential discomfort for both you and your customer. There are lots of other things that you can do here, but it looks like we're about out of time. I hope that this has been thought-provoking, and I hope that it encourages you to create more conversation about comfort and some new ways to provide the most comfortable experience for your customers. I just want to say one more quick thing about CEDIA. For the past couple of years, I've been working as a volunteer for CEDIA, and it's been easily one of the most rewarding experiences in my career. It's something that I would recommend to anybody in the industry who is looking to expand their horizons, to grow their network, and to get involved with a group of people who are just awesome to work with and who really care about our industry and everybody in it. I've worked with a number of groups here and haven't met a single person at CEDIA who I wouldn't consider to be both a friend and a genius. If any CEDIA people are watching right now, I'm probably making them totally uncomfortable, but they really are that awesome. If anybody here has questions for me about my personal experience volunteering with CEDIA, please reach out anytime. I love talking about this stuff. If you want to send me your comfort ratings, please do. I've included my contact info on the screen here. Again, thank you everybody for watching. Thank you, CEDIA. Everybody take care and be comfortable.